Hello, little dreamers. Welcome back to Dream Desk Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we return to Lumi's Lucky Shop, a quiet, glowing place in the middle of a busy city, where even the heaviest worries are gently held and slowly understood. But tonight's story begins somewhere else, not in the shop, not in the warm light, but in a house where the lights are on and the voices are loud. It was evening, the kind of evening when the sky outside turns dark blue, but inside the house, the lights feel too bright. The kitchen light hummed softly. The table had dishes still on it. A cup sat untouched. A chair was slightly pulled back, as if someone had stood up too quickly. And in the air, voices. Not laughing voices, not talking voices, sharp ones. I said, I'm tired. And I said, this can't keep happening. You always, and you never. The words came fast, too loud. In the hallway, just outside the kitchen, two small girls stood, Hana and Mina. Hana held Mina's hand tightly, too tightly. Mina leaned into her. Her small fingers curled into Hana's sleeve, her face pressed against her arm. Are they mad? Mina whispered. Hana didn't answer right away. She was listening, trying to understand, trying to make sense of something that didn't feel safe. They're just talking, she said finally. But her voice wasn't sure. A loud sound, a chair scraping. Mina flinched. I don't like it, she whispered. I know, Hana said softly. They stood there for a moment longer, listening, waiting, hoping it would stop, but it didn't. Another raised voice, another sharp word, another silence after. Hana swallowed. We're going, she said quietly. Where? Mina asked. Hana didn't know exactly, but she knew one thing. They couldn't stay there. Not right now. She squeezed Mina's hand. Come with me. They moved quietly, past the living room, past the door. Hana reached up, turned the handle. The door opened. Cool air rushed in. They stepped outside. The night felt different. Still, quiet, safe, no shouting, no sharp words. Just the soft hum of the city. Mina looked up. Where are we going? Hana hesitated. Then she said, to someone who knows what to do. She had never been to Lumi's shop alone before. Only once with her mom. But she remembered. The warm light, the quiet voice, the way everything felt softer inside. And right now, she needed that. So she walked, and Mina followed. They walked past streetlights, past quiet shops, past people who didn't know what they were carrying. Mina's steps were small. Sometimes she stumbled a little. Sometimes she squeezed Hana's hand tighter. "Are they going to stop?" Mina asked. Hana didn't answer because she didn't know. Instead, she said, "I'm here." That was all she could promise. After a while, they reached the shop. Warm light glowed from inside. Soft, golden, safe. Hana stopped at the door, took a breath, then pushed it open. Ting. The bell rang gently. Inside, everything was calm. The candles glowed. The shelves were quiet. The kettle hummed softly. Beast looked up immediately, alert, observing. Lion lifted his head slowly, then stretched, then stood. Lumi turned and saw them, two small girls holding hands, carrying something too big for them. She didn't ask right away. She didn't rush. She simply said, "Hello." Hana nodded. "Hello." Mina didn't speak. She just held tighter. "Come in," Lumi said gently. They stepped inside. The door closed behind them. Ting. The noise of the outside world faded, and something inside them softened. Just a little. They sat together, close, very close. Lion walked over slowly, without asking, without hesitation. He sat beside Mina, then leaned gently into her. Mina looked down. Her fingers loosened slightly. "Kitty," she whispered. "That's Lion," Lumi said softly. Mina touched his fur, very carefully. "He's warm." "Yes," Lumi said. "He's very good at that." Hana watched, then looked at Lumi, and everything came out. "My mom and dad keep fighting." Her voice shook, but she didn't stop. They shout. They get angry. They don't talk after. She swallowed, and I think her voice dropped. They might stop being together. Silence. Mina pressed into her again. "I don't want that," she whispered. Hana nodded quickly. "I don't know how to make it better." There it was. The weight. Lumi moved closer and said very clearly, "This is not your job to fix." Hana froze. "But if I try harder—" "No," Lumi said gently. "You are already trying very hard." Hana blinked. "I tried being quiet. I tried helping more. I tried making Mina laugh." Her voice cracked. "But it doesn't stop." Lumi nodded slowly. "I know." Then she said softly, "Grown-ups sometimes have problems that children cannot solve." Hana stared at her. "And that is not because you are not good enough." Mina looked up. Really? Really? Lumi's voice was calm, steady, certain. They still love you. Hana's eyes filled, even when they shout, yes. Even when they look angry, yes. Mina whispered. Even when they forget to smile? Lumi nodded. Even then. The room held that truth gently. Then Hana asked the question, the real one. What if they stop living together? Lumi paused, then said softly, even if things change, they will still be your parents. Hana breathed in slowly. They will still love you. Mina looked at Hana. Both of them? Both. And just then, the door opened suddenly. Hana, Mina, their parents, panicked, breathless. They rushed in. I was so worried. We looked everywhere. They dropped down immediately, pulling both girls close. Mina started crying. I was scared. Hana held on tightly. Then something changed. The parents looked at each other, not angry, not shouting, just soft. I'm sorry, said the mom. I'm sorry too, said the dad. They looked at the girls. We didn't realize how much you were hearing, Hana whispered. I thought it was my fault. Both parents shook their heads immediately. No, never. The dad pulled her closer. You don't have to fix us. The mom held Mina. We love you so much. Mina sniffled. Even when you're loud? The mom smiled through tears. Even then, and even when we make mistakes, said the dad. They stayed like that, all four of them, holding each other. In the warm glow of the shop, Lumi watched quietly. Beast beside her, lion curled at their feet, and slowly, the loudness from before faded, not gone forever, but softer, held, understood. When they left, Hana looked back once. Her eyes were still careful, still thoughtful, but no longer carrying everything alone. Mina waved. Bye, kitty. Ting. The door closed. The shop grew quiet again. Lumi stood still, then whispered, some worries are too big for small hands. Beast blinked. But love is bigger. Lion stretched. And somewhere in the city, two sisters walked home, still holding hands, but not as tightly. And now, little dreamers, our story has come to an end. Tonight, we heard a story about loud nights and two small hearts that felt a little scared. But we also learned something very important. grown-ups can sometimes have big feelings. Sometimes they get tired. Sometimes they make mistakes. But none of that is your fault. You do not have to fix everything. You do not have to carry big worries alone. You are still their child. You are still deeply loved. Always. Even on the loud days. Even on the quiet days. Even on the confusing days. Love is still there. Now the shop is calm again. The candles are glowing softly. Beast is watching nearby. Lion is warm and sleepy. And somewhere tonight, two sisters are resting safely, held by love. Now it's your turn to rest too. You are safe. You are loved. And you are not alone. So close your eyes, little dreamer. Snuggle into your blanket and let the night hold you gently. Sweet dreams. And I'll see you in the next story. Good night.